And yeah, welcome to my channel again this period. Yeah, I know it's been a very long time, and I sincerely apologize for that. We've just been fixed up with a few things, and yeah. So basically today, just like we've been doing, we'll continue with the Flutter series, and then today we're going to be looking at custom tab navigation. Basically, I would like to just stress that there isn't much how do I put it? There isn't much to be scared of when it comes to designing mobile application, especially with Flutter. It's just for you to understand the basics, right? So what I've done today is I'm doing custom, just like the navigation one as well. It's going to be custom. So, but I'm just going to show you what it is like with the normal Flutter default, right? So with Flutter default, you have a tab controller, it creates your tabs. This length, or with default tab controller, you specify the length being the number of tabs, that is, which is also synonymous to your number of views or number of screens or widgets you want to display, right? So that will determine what you have here. So this is three, means you have length of three, as well as the tab view itself, which contains the screens or the pages you want to display. Do you get? So I mean, but we won't be using tab view. We will be using a listener because if it's custom based. It's going to be a listener, right? So how we're going to do that? So I mean, let's just get our hands dirty, right? So we have an ongoing project which we've been using as our demo for a while. So if you've not seen my other videos, you can just go back and check them, especially the ones with getting started as a Flutter developer, or a developer, or why they do Russians or stuff like that. And then you can also check the last one, which was the Flutter custom navigation, the bottom navigation bar, where we designed the bottom navigation bar. So yeah, today, so basically I'll just go straight to the point. Yeah, and again I need to stress that these videos would be short and will just be precise. Right, so let's start. This was the last thing we did with the bottom navigation. Right, so today we're just going to look at the view, or tab view rather, where I mean, imagine this item becoming in progress and completed, and then we have them on the same line. So first thing first is well, let's define our controller. So I think the page we are using is the home. Woo. Well, you can't use a stateless widget for that. So first thing I'm going to do is to convert this to a stateful widget. So I'm just going to give it a stateful widget and call it home. Right. So I'm just going to take off this edge. The reason why I could do that fast is because I have the extension installed on mine. So yeah, for you to actually use a controller like a controller like a tab controller, you'd have to bring in a state mixing, right? So for this, I'll call it late. Late. I like using underscore for my controller name, so I use late controller tab controller equals to tab controller. Oh, yeah. Well, this might not be. Let's not use this here. Let's just do a tab controller directly. So let's tab controller. This is just for naming sake. We're supposed to still initialize, so you come to init state, right? Init, right, and then you do. I'm just using the helper. I mean, it makes my job easier. So we're going to do tab controller. Then will now be init is to initialize the project, or to initialize the controller equals to tab controller. Then the few wheel of the vsync, and then the length. So you just give this and then say length. Let's say our length is going to be 2 because we want in progress and completed on both sides. Here in progress and then completed. So vsync is then going to be this. This means like this current um, context. So for that to actually happen, the reason why it has underlined this list, or is marking this list as for me to check, is because I have not provided a state mixing. So I'll do a ticker. Yeah. So we have that, and then you can see this is removed. Right. So next thing to then do is to start initializing this too. So where's the in progress? So under the in progress, I'm just going to make this a view instead, or kind of like a tab instead. So let's for now let's just comment some of these things out. So I'm just going to copy this text because I actually need it. So I mean this is Anson, so it's not being prepared for. I'm just trying to come up with it off my head. So tab bar, right? So I give tabs. Tabs will be children, means like they are widgets, not just a single element. So I give first widget tab. So the first widget will be a tab, and then your tab then be child. You then give the text. So that's why I copied that text in the first instance. So like I said, we learn to specify there is two, right? Means that we have two tabs. Let me just go back to check that. Yeah, we have two tabs. So I'm just going to bring that back into this page and say, let's see why I don't know why that is showing that though, but we'll figure because I've not done anything within that axis. Okay, it needs a comma. Right. So we should have two elements now, and then we'll call this completed. Okay, maybe it needs a color. So I'm just going to do color because the color is dot black. I'm actually editing both lines at the same time. Not sure why not loading. Let's see. Tab bar. Okay, yeah, we need to specify controller as well. So the controller we have defined, so we specify that here. Say tab controller should, I guess, should be fine now. Invalid constant. Oh, sorry, can be constant at that time again because it's dynamic. Right. So let's see. Yeah, so we have completed. So that's the first thing to do. Of course, we can talk about some of these things later where you can adjust this design setup. Right. So we have this. So next thing to do is to let's create a view that displays what's supposed to happen here. So under that, I'll just return this and then give. Let's then do a column, right? Let's do a column and say based on current anyways. I think value needs to one thing column child or children rather. So I'll just run it for loop of list item. So I'll do for variable I. So for variable I equals to 0, I less than say 5 arguments, I increments I. So I'm just going to give it text file. So I'll say completed this one, list item. Let's just say completed item and then call the index. Sorry then. Yeah. So I mean, let's just give some padding around that. So they won't just be looking like padding. I want only bottom, so I'm just going to say bottom. Sorry, row, 208 of course. Yeah. So we have this, but it will still show when it comes to this, right? So what I'm going to do there on is that I'm going to now set a listener, right? So I'm going to write a listener, right, that handles um, whatever is going on, where anytime I click on this or this, it switches this view for me. So I'm going to just do this, right? Of course, your elements can be as much as, I don't know, right? So I'm just going to say in progress item. In progress should be spaced. Yeah, so at the moment you just see everything listed up. Let's put this in a scroll view. So I'll just put this in a single child scroll view. So should remove that error. Yeah. So for that error to go, you need to also specify the height. So let's give it a container and say it will actually be a sized box anyways. It is media. I'm using a media query to check the remaining size of the screen. So I'll just say of context dot size dot height times 0. Let's say 0.5. Let's see what it looks like. What does it say? It says 50 remaining. Wow. How many have we now used? 2, 5. Wow. Okay. So 2, 8. 2, 9. Wow. Okay, let's just manage 2, 8 for that. Let's see. I don't know where whether something is here. I'm not sure, but I mean it's not the time for that now. Right. So, but basically, what we want to fix is to split this view. So this only displays where we are in completed, and this only displays where we are in progress. All right. So how do I do that? So we're going to handle that using a tab selector handler. So on click of any of these, then we listen to the change. Right. So first thing first is to set current, kind of like, let's say no, let's say current view. I can just call it let's make it a variable anyways. So we can say current view equals to, maybe we should make it an integer so that we won't write story int. So current view is 1, but we are considering 1 to be in progress and we'll consider 2 to be. So I just put it, say 1 in progress. It's good to put notes on your stuff so you know what it is, and then 2 completed. Right. So for this to then happen, sorry, I'm not in the right place. I think we should be in the home. Yeah, this is where we should be. Right. So current view. So I'm then going to do a listener. So say tab listener. Right. It's going to be a function. So tab listener, which would then if we use the controller to listen to it, tab controller dot is changing. Yeah. Can you see it? So it already drops that set states. So we'll set states of current tab or current whatever we call it, current view. Let's call it current tab. That's the right name to use. Let's not say view. So current tab equals to the index of that tab. So we'll call tab controller dot index. So which would then be 0, 1 or something. So I think we should just use the 0, 1 convention. So 0, 1. Right. So this tab listener now, we're then going to call it in our page. So what we're going to do is to call it in our page where we say calling listeners. So because it's a listener, right, we'll then just go to our init states and handle it in within our page. Take note, within our page. So if I do tab controller, right, dot add a listener, then the listener will be my tab listener, right? My tab listener. So what happens with this is anytime changes happen on this tab controller, it does this. So now I can now say current tab, right, within this page. So at the moment, nothing has changed yet, but it's being informed, right? That our listener informs the handle function or the tab change function of what is happening. So we'll say, so for this one, I can then do okay, I think we can reduce the stress on us by doing this, right? So I'm going to do this, say if current tab equals to 0, show this, right? So can you see? If current tab equals to 0, show this. If I look to this up, show that. Okay, looks like something is missing. So let's inspect whether our listener is working. So I'm going to just clear this console and then write um, a listener. Say okay, print current tab. Let's see whether it's actually saved. Whether it's receiving it. Okay, it doesn't look like it is yet. Doesn't look like it is. Doesn't look like it is. So I'm just going to check this by itself. Okay, it doesn't look like it is. So we need to inspect what the error is. Add tab listener. We've already added listener. I want to be sure I'm not missing out anything. Tab controller, add listener. We're not calling it disposed yet, so should actually work. So it's actually not listening. That's the challenge. Or maybe let's do something. Let's refresh because that's an init state. So let's refresh. So I think if we refresh, it should be fine. Let's see. Yeah, exactly. So it's because we added it to the state init. That's why. So if you check my inspection as well, you will see that the current tab is being listed. So I mean that's pretty much everything about handling the custom tab or custom tab bar and then the effect. So of course you might want to look at other things. You can just extensively want to check other things around. Maybe you want to change the design of this bottom or this bottom nav effect, kind of like something we did here where we had different dots as well. So you might want to look at all those things and I want to just look at a few things like that. So that's basically it on this part. You might want to extensively just research into that. And like I promised, I said I was going to deploy this today without having to go anyway. So I'm just going to deploy the changes and say custom tab. Yes, we will activate the message. Yeah. So I'll sync that change. Right. So I'm just going to share the link immediately after this video. Right. So please like and subscribe to my channel, share with your friends, watch my other videos and see how you can be better. Right. So quite easy, right? Quite easy, nothing too special. So don't forget the reason why we have done the custom is because I mean you don't have to ensure that it's on the same view or the same screen. Everything can just be like what I mean by this is the normal default tab will require you to first make a full screen and all those kind of sorts. But here, any page, any screen can implement this properly. Ensure it stays full screen anyways. All right, thank you and see you later. Bye.